So I want to say a very pleasant morning, afternoon, or evening to every one of us, depending on which part of the world you're calling in from. Thank you for joining this conversation tonight. Tonight we're having your confidence session for the year. Okay. All right, sorry for that interruption. Okay, so we're having a Boost Your Confidence conversation tonight. We started this conversation in the year 2020. The reason why we started this conversation was because we wanted to motivate and inspire our followers, our members, and friends, to make healthy lifestyle choices. So we really want to appreciate you joining us. We've had several persons, share their testimonials or testimonies, depending on what you want to, call it. And tonight we have someone very special with us again. So in case you're just joining us for the first time, this is Lifestyle Champions International. Lifestyle Champions International is a non-profit, non-governmental organization where we motivate members to make lifestyle choices, positive lifestyle choices on a daily basis so that they can prevent lifestyle-related diseases and optimize their health-related quality of life. So we don't want to wait for the big bang. We want to ensure that we don't have to contend with these lifestyle-related diseases, and it is possible. We have a lot of evidence to back that up. So we're going to be listening to one of us tonight who is going to be sharing his own story. And, interestingly, he happens to be a physician, and he's going to be sharing his story with us tonight. He's going to be telling us about his journey and how he made a lifestyle change. So welcome everyone. I'm so excited to see us. It's the last meeting that we're having for the year. 2022 has gone by so fast. Can you believe it? It's almost at the end. We have just a few more weeks. And so we want to have this conversation. And you know why this conversation is important? It's important because December is knocking on the door. And everyone usually sees December, it's a festive period. It's a time when people, eat more, they drink more. We get in touch with many other people more than usual. We engage, we connect. So it's just the prime time, to talk about the lifestyle journey that we have made throughout the year. So thank you, Dr. Femi, for responding to this invitation. When he was sharing his story with me, I was so inspired. I was excited. And I said, see, other people have to hear this, and get inspired so that we know that we can make a difference for ourselves, for our families, and for people around us. So I want to welcome Dr. Femi Ibrahim. He's a colleague, he's a friend. We were in med school together, and he has a special interest in lifestyle medicine, even though he's an ophthalmologist. And I tell people a lot that lifestyle medicine is for everyone. Whether you are a medic or not, it will work for you. So welcome once again to everyone just joining us. I would appreciate it if you could give us a little bit of information about yourself in the chat box so that I can recognize you as we go along. So welcome, Dr. Femi. I would like you to just tell us, say hello to everyone, and then tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and how you came to be part of the LCI. Let's start with that.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Femi Ibrahim. Like she mentioned, I'm an ophthalmologist. Presently, I'm in Afeba Balola University. Anyway, I'm from Oyo State, married with children, and enjoying life. Lifestyle medicine, I think, yes, I
Hello, Dr. Femi. Okay, I think we lost Dr. Femi. I can't hear him, but he was just telling us a bit about himself. So I'm sure that he's going to come back. Okay, can you hear me, Dr. Femi? You're muted. You're muted.
Okay. So I heard about lifestyle medicine. That was last year. Yes, last year. As in the term lifestyle medicine. I know we need to live a lifestyle modification, like I've learned in medical school more than 20 years ago, for patients that have chronic medical disease, hypertension, diabetes, that there has to be that lifestyle modification, what they eat, how much salt they put in their food, exercise, and all these things. But the truth is that as a doctor, I always assume I'm healthy, everything is fine, there's nothing to worry about. Just take care of people, exercise, what you eat. But when I was asked to do that presentation, before then, I'd received an alarm in one of the health diseases that I had. So I've already started some changes. And when I had to do that presentation, I had to do more research. And then I had to talk with Ore. She was a family physician, or she is a family physician. And I wanted to just ask some questions. And she was very happy and glad when she saw me trying to find some information. And then I think formally I was now introduced more, and I know there's certification and other things, and there's an association in Nigeria towards that. I don't want to jump ahead of myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that bit. And we are going to welcome you very soon, into that association. But we really are interested in hearing your story. Welcome to everyone just joining us. I can see quite a number of people in the room now. Thank you for being here. I will still recognize us as we go on. And if you could drop your details in the chat box. I can see a friend to Dr. Femi, Gladys Ohuro. Welcome. Thank you for honoring this invite. So still back to Dr. Femi, who is telling us about his lifestyle journey. You said something just now. You said there was an alarm. What was that alarm? And
Okay.
How did you perceive the alarm, when it sounded?
Okay, so in the university I was at that time, I have some students doing some study on diabetic retinopathy or diabetes, and they were evaluating retinopathy. So I was like, you guys are taking samples of patients. I'm checking the eyes of your patient for free. I think I should also do some tests like you're doing. So I did all the liver, renal, and I did cholesterol and fasting blood sugar. I'd been doing yearly cholesterol tests because 2016, I was told that it was elevated, maybe about 230 thereabout. And I felt, okay, diet, they told me diet, I said diet, but things overtook itself. So when they did the test, the cholesterol was 290, total cholesterol was 290. The highest of the normal range is 200 milligram per DL. So this was 290 milligram per DL. And also, with the cholesterol is broken down into 2 or 3, majorly 2 that we talk about more. We'll talk about the high density lipoprotein, which is the good cholesterol, and the low density lipoprotein, LDL, which is the bad cholesterol. The good cholesterol was normal, but the bad one was also higher than what is expected for normal. I think it was about 160 or 170. So both of them, the total and the bad cholesterol was too high. And it was really scary to me because as an ophthalmologist, I know when people have high cholesterol, they can have stroke in the eye. I think I talked about this in the last discussion we had. So they can have central retinal vein occlusion, central retinal artery occlusion. They can just lose vision suddenly. Apart from the risk of heart attack, stroke in the body, and issues with the kidney that could develop from the cholesterol itself. So here am I, everybody will say, oh, you're looking healthy, you're looking chubby, you're doing well. And there was a silent alarm, you know, and you know, silent things can kill more than obvious things. So when I saw that and the fasting blood sugar was entering into impaired range, it was still less than 126, but it was about, I think, 110 or 115 thereabout. So I was like, I have to take some steps to make a change. Definitely, I consulted physicians, and when they looked, dyslipidemia, start medication. So what I told my friend, who's a consultant gastroenterologist, was, okay, I don't have a doubt about it. I know it is high, but can I do a 3-month trial on lifestyle change? And if it doesn't change, it doesn't come down at all, no problem. I will go on medication. So that was what the alarm that came up. And the results that I had to consult other physicians. So I won't be treating myself on what to do about it.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm really getting inspired every minute. So a number of things. He's a physician, but he had to reach out to a physician, you know, for care. And I think that's very important for all of us who are on the call tonight. Self-medicating really is something we should avoid. And incidentally, today, I met someone who got an over-the-counter steroid to put in his eyes. And he ended up with an opacity of the corneas just because he had some blurring. But, you know, he didn't assess care the way he ought, and he just put those drops and worsened the entire situation. I think that's something that we should do, periodic checks. That's what Dr. Femi is telling us that he was able to do. Because if he didn't do that periodic check, he wouldn't have known that his cholesterol was high. And that is quite on the high side, 290. When as much as people will want it to be less than 200. And, you know, you can always have a conversation with your physician. I have a lot of patients too who will tell me that, oh, is there anything I can do outside of medication that will help me to get in better shape, you know, in the management of these chronic diseases? So Dr. Femi said it was a silent alarm, but thankfully he realized it because he had a medical check. So if you haven't had your medical check this year, before December runs out, please ensure that you go for it. So now let's go to the 3-month trial on lifestyle changes. Can you tell us a bit more about that? So your physician agreed with you that, okay, even though you might have merited a statin, that's what we call it medically. We have a lot of statins which are recommended for people that have high cholesterol levels. So you were able to negotiate and say, oh, I want to try lifestyle changes. What exactly were the lifestyle changes that you did? For how long have you carried them out? And maybe later on you tell us about the outcomes, whether you had to repeat this cholesterol, your blood sugar, and other differences it made.
Okay, thank you. So when I discussed with the physician, my friend, and told him generally advised me things to eat, things to avoid. But before I discuss with him, I myself have to go on the internet to actually spend some time. I asked myself a question of why, which was the inner core of what really made me to make a change. That, okay, now I'm a doctor, yes, I'm a consultant. Thank God things are moving on well. But now, does it mean now I'm going to make drug my food rather than food be my drug? That was the paradigm shift for me, that my changing my lifestyle is for me to enjoy life itself. And it's not about losing weight. It's not about just the cholesterol. It's really enjoying life, because that really helped me and encouraged me to really take some drastic step and some changes. Okay, so the physician asked me to check my weight and my height to know my body mass index. When we checked the weight, I was 83 kilograms. Definitely, because I'm an adult, my height cannot change. So when we calculated the BMI, I think I was in the range of 27, 28, which was overweight. I was asked to do my abdominal circumference. So if you put a tape rule across your navel or umbilicus and go back and you measure, there's a cutoff for male, there's a cutoff for female. I was within normal range for that. So I was told, oh, you don't have abdominal obesity, but your weight is too much for your height. So you need to lose weight. Okay, then when I read about issue of losing weight, I understood that for us to, I'm sure most of us will remember the justice sign of the law court, where somebody is carrying 2 weights. And we try to make it level. Okay, so I understand that for you to maintain your weight, you need to have a balance between your energy intake and energy expenditure. You have to have a balance between the two for you to maintain weight. But when you are gaining weight, it means you are taking more than you are losing. So you will gain weight. And that for me to lose weight, it means I need to have more energy expenditure and reduce my energy intake. So it means I need to adjust what I eat and how I eat it. That's what that implies for about weight loss. So exercise has to be more than what I normally do. And then about the diet, the things I read about cholesterol, I realized I have been eating, yes, the food looks good, but actually not good for cholesterol. So I eat a lot of red meat. You know, normally I will be given 3, 4, 5 pieces of meat every day, you understand, whether fried, most of the time fried anyway. I eat a lot of popcorn. Am I still online? Hello.
Hi, you're online, sir.
Oh, okay. Maybe she is the one that went off. Thank
Okay.
you. Maybe we should just wait a minute if we can get her back. Just a minute. Let's just wait for Ore to sign in again. She was a network issue. She just sent a message. She's logging in, so let's just wait a bit. I'm just answering some questions in the chat box.
It's okay. Thank you, doctor.
Well, so thank you too. So somebody raised something about popcorn. So what I observed when I read about cholesterol is that most things that is fried, baked, they have a lot of saturated fat, which increases the bad cholesterol. So think when you fry food, you bake, even cake, pizza, biscuits, and you do popcorn, the saturated fat is very high. And so it's very important, any product you are buying, you need to check. That's why they put it cholesterol. You need to check. Cholesterol is there in most products. The percentage of the saturated fat and the trans fat, those two fats are not good. If the saturated fat is high or something like that, you need to totally avoid it. She's still logged out. We'll try to just be patient. Okay.
My apologies. So sorry.
No problem. I'm trying to answer questions in the chat room.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to answer. So somebody raised a question about popcorn because I mentioned popcorn as I was talking. So I mentioned that popcorn has a lot of saturated fat once it is popped. And this saturated fat actually increases the cholesterol, bad cholesterol. So one should avoid. And then emphasizing that when we buy products, processed products, if you have to buy, sometimes you have to, for the children or for whatever reason, for our taste buds that we're used to, you need to check the cholesterol. If there is high content of saturated fat and trans fat, you need to actually avoid such products because they might not be good. Or if you have to consume them, it has to be small quantity. The problem
Okay, so I can't hear Dr. Femi right now. Okay. Okay. Hello, Dr. Femi. Are you still there? Okay, so the network is a bit erratic. So sorry about that.
Okay. So sorry. So I understood that there were a lot of food I was eating that was contributing to the cholesterol being high. So I was eating a lot of red meat. Definitely I eat fried food. Fried meat is always the best stuff. You fry your fish, everything, even shrimp, will fry everything. All those things were things I observe. I eat a lot of biscuits. I think sometimes I binge on biscuits, especially the digestives and the high fiber one. Then I've talked about biscuits. I eat a lot of pizza, especially, having a lot of cheese inside it. I was not taking quite some palm oil anyway. It was more vegetable oil that I take. But I look at my diet and I realized there were lots I do binge on that. Ice cream also, and some other things. So I realized there were a lot of things in my diet that was not good. So I had to take a decision that in the next 3 months, I'm not going to eat red meat. I even said I'm not eating meat at all, whether even the chicken. I just want to go on fish completely. And definitely I stopped buying biscuits, cake, pizza, stop eating popcorn. So the popcorn seed I have, I just close my eyes, say, popcorn, you stay there, I look at you, look at me. I'm not going to pop anything. Then when I read about the oil, I recognized that olive oil is the best oil. It was a shock to me because, you know, in Nigeria, when you mention olive oil, I know anything is what comes to your head. You don't even think of using it to cook. You understand? So it was then I just realized, oh, you know, I know they use olive oil for garnishing of salad, but not to cook food as such. So it was then I just told myself, no to vegetable oil. Olive oil is the best. If I cannot get olive oil, I'll go to soya or sunflower or sunola. For the last 1 year, I've not eaten vegetable oil. I've not bought vegetable oil, as in vegetable, the one that they write vegetable. I just avoided it completely. I went totally on olive oil. And like I said, stop eating meat and all this other stuff. And the other thing I now decided was I'm going to start monitoring, I'm going to do exercise, and I'm going to start monitoring my steps. So I read many things that said minimum steps you should make per day is 6,000, but I don't know if I make 6,000. So I had to get a smartwatch to monitor my steps. Started with 6,000 per day steps. Then I moved to 10,000, then to 15,000. So I set a goal for myself, and I think that's very good. Anybody that wants to make a lifestyle change, set a goal for yourself for a month. A week might be too short to see the effect. A month will be good enough to see whatever change you might have made. That in this next 1 month, I just want to lose only 1 kilogram. I didn't want to set an unrealistic target, and I didn't want it to be something too low hanging. I just said 1 kilogram. That if I can lose 1 kilogram, it means it is possible, and that this lifestyle change is workable. That's what I said. Yes, I'm like, people will complain, but I say I don't care what people will say, because if there's any health challenges, it's the same people that will tell me, physician, heal thyself, that you know about it. Why didn't you do something? So that this is important. So I also decided, then I was cycling a lot, that I would do 20 kilometers of cycling every day. If I can't do up to 20 kilometers, I will compensate it with walking, so that I can ensure I'm doing enough exercises every day. Usually from home to work, I do 4 kilometers, come back, another 4 kilometers. Usually there is break. So if I go to work morning and afternoon, I will do 16 kilometers comfortably. So on my way home, I will add another 4 kilograms, move off the way to the house, and then come back home and things like that. It was tough and it was rough, but I just tried to be consistent on it. And about the diet, I need to be frank. I need to really talk about this, because I think reducing my intake also helped. So what I do normally every day before I eat, you know, our solid, either eba, mola, or fufu or whatever, I eat it every day. If I don't eat once a day solid, I feel I'm not comfortable. I can't be okay. That's my thought. But I realize it's not helpful. So I said every other day I'll be eating solid. So if I eat solid today or Monday, I won't eat it on Tuesday. It's going to be Wednesday that I'm going to eat it. Okay, and that in between, I will eat rice with vegetables. For the other day, I'm not eating solid. Normally, I don't eat in the morning, so I take more of lunch, and I eat a good lunch. For dinner, I change my dinner to vegetables, cabbage, cucumber. I just decided no rice, nothing, just cabbage, cucumber. That's what I eat. Or if I have to eat anything, beans or moi moi, that's what I eat in the evening. I don't eat any carbohydrate at all. So I reduced the solid. Normally, if I eat 4 wraps of fufu or 3 wraps, I half it. That's what I did. I just half it.
Okay. I can see someone say no rice. They don't know rice, huh? Okay. Okay, so you're muted. Okay, he's back. I've been writing furiously. And I hope everyone on the call is writing too. But Dr. Laleye just made a comment in the chat box saying no rice. Ha, ha. All right, so
okay, I'll talk about that along the way. So what I want to get my thought back. I don't know, where was I?
Yes, you were talking about what you used to take for dinner, vegetables, beans, moi instead of rice and.
Okay, so I didn't say I don't eat. So on a particular day, okay, so what happened was on a particular day, I'm from Oyo State, we like a lot of amala, but I stopped eating amala. I've not eaten cooked amala in my house in the last 1 year. I just shifted to wheat. I felt wheat was lighter and much better. So if I eat wheat, for example, on Monday in the afternoon, like 50% of what I've been eating before, the rest vegetables and fish. And in the evening, I'm going to eat more of just cucumber, cabbage. Usually I will just cut the cabbage in slices, little salt, and microwave it. So it's still crunchy and it doesn't have a lot of too much chewing in my mouth, and that's fine. Or cucumber, I cut, I might eat it with granite or little peanut butter. I will just eat like that. And the next day, like I said, I don't usually eat in the morning. Okay, and the next day I will by afternoon eat rice, usually a cup of rice. Actually, I was really bad on myself. I eat a cup of rice. I eat it for a whole week. That's what I eat for a whole week, because I just had to reduce the quantity of what I eat. And when I did that for a whole week, my stomach adjusted. That even when you give me a large food, I'll just immediately you're serving it, I just tell you, I can't finish this food. Give me an extra bowl. If you want me to, don't mind, I'll take it as takeaway. I just cut it, and just because after some time, large food doesn't appeal to me again. After a week, it doesn't appeal to me again because my stomach has adjusted. It's like for those who are Christians, when you are on some days fast, after you overcome the third day, you notice that food doesn't really appeal to you. You understand? Until after some time, maybe you are stretched and stressed, you really understand that you really are looking for more food to eat. The other things I read that also help in reducing cholesterol. So I've talked about the type of food you should avoid. Then the food to bring on board, I talk about the olive oil. I read about green tea. So I started taking tea. I started going to buy green tea. So Lipton green tea is readily available everywhere. You can buy that, or even if it is normal dark Lipton tea, it still contains what can boost the good cholesterol in the body. So I started taking that. Then there are quite a lot of fruits that also help to improve your cholesterol. One good one is avocado. And we have that plenty in our country. So especially when they are ripe well, they help you in the good fat. The other thing, I read about some drinks, especially tomato juice. So your tomato, you wash it, you blend it, can put little salt, and you drink it. It can actually help you for cholesterol. So I brought all these on board to help me in reducing that. Then nuts, generally, granules, cashew nuts, whatever nuts there is, they are very good in helping you to improve the good cholesterol. Anyway, also the nuts, they give you bulk, high fiber content, the body doesn't absorb too much, and you are much better. So I ensured that my energy expenditure was higher than my intake. So by the end of the first 1 month, I've lost 3 kilograms. So When I realized I've lost 3 kilograms, I was very happy. Friends were complaining that you are too harsh on yourself. Yes, we know your result, but you can't kill yourself. There's only one time people will die. You don't have to die now. I said, I have noticed changes in my body. I was saying earlier, before the network went up, when I sleep in the middle of the night, usually I have this esophageal reflux, bitter taste in my mouth, pepper. I will wake up and start coughing, go to the bathroom, you know, to go and make sure I'm not suffocating myself and many other things. But at the end of the first week, I don't have that experience again. That disappeared. Okay, so I was really happy. So when I realized I've lost 3 kilograms, I said, okay, this thing is working. I just have to keep doing it. And then at the end of the 3rd month, I repeated the cholesterol test. And the value dropped to the value 2 years previously. So 2 years previously, I've been doing this cholesterol every year, and I noticed that's been increasing. But I think it was 250 in 2020. But I felt, oh, you can manage it, no problem. But when it
So let's hang in there. I'm sure Dr. Femi will soon be back. And I'm just wondering how many of us just say, I'm still fine. You know, blood sugar is just 110, just 116. I'm still okay. Life goes on. How many of us are saying that my weight is just borderline, it's not really bad? This is making me think. It's making me think. I'm sure that he's going to be looking at questions also that we have.
Yeah, I can imagine. People are telling me that I'm already starving myself. Anyway, I've had that over and over. Anyway, so when I saw that result, I was very happy. Definitely, the sugar test had come lower to normal range you expect. My tummy was more tighter. It was not that it was big, but there was a little weak 14-week size that was showing. You understand? For those that don't understand what 14-week size is, you know, when women are pregnant, you start seeing the lower abdomen coming up. So that lower part of the abdomen was coming up. When I wear shirts that is tight, you will see it, but then everything became flat at the end of 3 months. So I told myself I shouldn't stop. I should keep doing what I'm doing and keep working on it. Though I relax a bit about meat, I eat meat before that first 3 months, when I go out, when people ask me, give me meat, I'll say, no, sorry, I can't take meat. I take fish only. People are becoming embarrassed. But after the 3rd month, I relaxed about that. So I don't buy meat. I don't buy red meat. If I buy meat, maybe chicken or turkey, but I don't buy red meat at all. When I go out, people offer me, I'm grateful. I eat it, but I don't binge on it. Okay, so, and then I continue living that way. Along the way, sometimes you let down your guard, be sincere, and then the weight will come up again. But I was consistent that I got a weight of up to 73.5, from 83 to 73.5 along the course of the period. And 2 weeks ago, I checked my weight. It was 78 kilograms. I was a bit alarmed. It was
Okay. Dr. Femi, are you there? So you can imagine he went from 83 to 73.5 and then relaxed a bit and he discovered he was back to 78. Back to 78. Did you say back to 78, Dr.
No, I was back to 78 about 2 weeks ago, but now I'm 74.5 now.
Wow. So you re-intensified your efforts.
Yes, my exercise. Usually I do my exercise in the evening. If I'm doing not this, now I've not been cycling for a while, so I do more walks. I've not been cycling for a while. I do more walking, 30 minutes to 1.5 hours in the evening. I do mine in the evening. In the morning, when I do exercise, I realize I'm tired. I feel sleepy at work. I'm not optimal like I ought to do my work. But when I do my work in the evening, I will sleep well. Okay, because all my muscles are tired. So I enjoy my sleep. I wake up refreshed in the morning to carry out my goals. So and one thing I need to point out to people, exercise doesn't have to be in the morning. Let it be time that works for you. It might be afternoon that works for you. Let it be the time that works for you and not just in the morning. You know, the impression I have grown up is you do exercise in the morning. But I came to that realization, if I do it in the evening and it's much better for me. So I do mine more in the evening and it has really helped me a lot. Yes, so that's just in summary my lifestyle journey.
Please, let's
I repeated my cholesterol. Let me just finally, that's what really encouraged me more. I repeated in January. I think it has also reduced to 230. And then I now checked it again, May or June this year, is now 210. It's not yet at 200, but I have gone a good distance from 290 to a safe margin. 210 is just 10 above the normal range, which you can say is negligible if you really look at it, but it's really, I didn't use any anti-lipid medication to bring it that low to that level. So I was really happy. That day I wanted to go and buy ice cream, celebrate, break the stuff. But I just told myself, the ice cream itself is not appealing again, you know? So I just told myself, just take it easy, just relax. And then I shared it with Dr. Ore, who said it's good to encourage other people about it. And really, with the learning I've made, I realized that even most of the patients that are eye patients that I see, quite a lot of people are obese. And with other readings and study I've done, all these obesity, diabetes, all these things, cholesterol, they affect the eyes. And when people start complaining of things, I just tell them, you need to lose weight. And they're like, I've been trying. I was like, try this way, try this way. And then they come back and tell me, you know, nobody had told me that way. And I tried it and I think it's really working. I just need to be consistent about it, and that will help. The other thing to point out is if you don't sleep well, you will put on weight. I've had that experience. I sleep late, wake up early, but now I have to adjust my sleeping pattern so that I go to bed early and I wake up early in the morning and continue my routine work. But at least I'm more refreshed and better, and I will not gain weight, because I realize when I don't sleep well, when I wake up in the morning, I feel bloated somehow, and then you want to consume a lot of things in your body and things like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Femi. Please, let's show Dr. Femi some love. In the chat box, you know, just put some emojis, some icons. Let's thank him, you know, for sharing his story with us. It's so inspiring. And you know what even makes him more inspiring is that he's a physician who could have felt, well, I'm still okay. Oh, I can swallow medication. But, you know, he's an embodiment, you know, of what it means to make a lifestyle change, you know, and see the results. And the earlier you make those changes, the better. You can imagine cholesterol levels moving from 290 to 230 and then to 210. You know, and it really depends on the laboratory. You know, sometimes the reference ranges could vary from lab to lab. Some labs will say 220, some say 230, you know, as the border. And I don't know whether you repeated, did you tell us your fasting blood sugar?
Okay, the fasting blood sugar was about 110 when the 110 milligram per DL when the cholesterol was 290. But after the third month, when I repeated it, it came to less than 100, maybe 98, thereabout. It's been low since then. My blood pressure didn't have any issue. Normally, my blood pressure is like 110, 80, thereabouts, but it went up to like 135, 82 or 83 when the cholesterol was high. So, but when I started exercise and everything, the blood pressure had come down. It's ranging 110, 118 over 65, 74, 80. And that has been
Wow.
fine.
That's so awesome. So from 290 cholesterol to 210, fasting blood sugar from about 110 milligram per DL to 98 milligram per DL. Your weight went from 83, now you're 74, and all because you made a decision. And I love what you said at the beginning. You said why? Why do I need to make a change? And you said that making a lifestyle change means you want to enjoy your life. And that's a take-home message for all of us. Changing your lifestyle is about enjoying life. And you know what? God gives us all things to enjoy. We're supposed to enjoy life, but the moderation that he has talked about is key. I can see quite a number of comments in the comment section. I'm going to come there, but just look at all the things that Dr. Femi let go of. He let go of vegetable oil, red meat, ice cream, biscuits, popcorn, fried foods, pizza. He was exercising, 20 kilometers of cycling, brisk walking. He was monitoring his steps. So he was so intentional. He was deliberate. And, he was enjoying himself. He was enjoying himself with other things, taking tea, which contains antioxidants, which can reduce inflammation. He was taking fruits. He mentioned the fruits and the nuts that can improve good cholesterol, avocado. He also talked about olive oil. So these are, wonderful evidence-based results. He lost 3 kg after 1 month, and then the esophageal reflux he was experiencing ended after 1 week of making the lifestyle change. So I know that a lot of us are wondering, oh, how can I make these changes? But you know what? Find out what your why is. What is my why? Why do I want to make a lifestyle change? Is it so that people can look at me and know that I have a good shape? Or is it because I know that making those changes will prolong my life and reduce my risk of all these illnesses? So just to go back to some of the questions in the box, because we're supposed to end about now. I think we can see some of the comments there. So Dejo was saying no rice. So there are different types of rice. We have the whole grain rice and we have processed rice. The rice that even is homegrown is even much better, or the ofada, the brown rice, they are better than the processed rice that we import into the country every now and then. So, but even if you are eating white rice, the important thing is moderation. How much of it are you eating? Those things contain a lot of calories. So you just want to take, a portion and then fill your plate with vegetables and have your fish, have your chicken, so it doesn't mean you can't eat rice, but have your goal. What are you trying to achieve? Someone said halving your fufu. Yes, you can do a half and half. I remember Dr. Bola Tito Fatusi sharing this with us, during her own BYC session. She said what she started to do was to divide into 2 whatever meal she was going to take. And at a point in time, I did that too. That's why if I'm going to take any swallow, it's so small and, I'm so used to it now, that if I'm going to take any swallow, it's so small. And I just try and relish the vegetable and the fish or whatever it is that comes with it. Someone is asking a question here that, okay, he's answered the question about weight loss.
Let me just make a comment. About the rice, one thing I observed with this lifestyle change, because one way or the other I had to cook the rice, is I think we don't, even whatever type of rice you eat, I think I was eating more
Go
basmati
ahead,
rice.
Dr. Femi. Go ahead.
Yes, I was eating more basmati rice. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think my network. Okay. I was eating more basmati rice at that period, but that had helped me to make a change in how I cook rice. Before, what we usually do is we cook rice, pour water into it once until the water dries. But I've stopped doing that. Once the rice is a bit soft, I pour cold water into it and rinse the rice 2 times. I realize there's a lot of starch that comes off on the rice, a lot of milky stuff, which I think a lot of times people take in, and I think I don't know how true that is, but I feel might be a contribution to all these other things we're exposed to. We're in Nigeria, for those that are in Nigeria, we have a lot of our local rice, which is very nutritious, which I think we should adopt and learn how to cook them so that they won't be too soft or too watery, which I think is what most of us try to run away from a lot of times.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's very important information. Let's do more of our home rice. Okay, so yeah, someone is saying my questions are not addressed. Let me quickly scroll up again. There was a question about foods to be taken. I know depend on your individual activities. I personally do a lot of exercises, mental and physical, though I don't eat to feel. That's from Kunle Adigun. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yes, we shouldn't eat to fill up. And studies done within the blue zones, where people live the longest in the world, show that they eat until they're 80% full. So they don't, cram themselves with all the food. So that is good. Then a question: how predictive is the cholesterol level as a single metric? So you want to say something about that? Okay, so that's
for that, there's a about with cholesterol, triglyceride, non-HDL cholesterol, and many other things. So cholesterol itself alone, many people are querying it, but the people querying it are all scientists and all the stuff. But for the lay person, you can still use it at least to be able to explain and guide the patient what to do. There's still researches going on this. Ori, you might know more about that, so you can give more detail.
Yes, so we have quite a number of research that shows that high cholesterol levels, are correlated with heart disease, and even when we're talking about type 2 diabetes, the pathology usually starts from problems with fat metabolism. So it's very important that we put it into context, depending on all the other complaints that one might have. But remember that Dr. Femi had a goal, so we too, we need to set our goal. It might not be the same for everyone. So if it's only your cholesterol levels that are high and you're not having any other symptoms or problems, you're not overweight, you wouldn't want to wait for the big bang. And that's what we keep on saying in LCI. Don't wait until you get a diagnosis. Why don't you prevent it from happening? And so that brings me to the question: what does someone who is not fat, skinny, do to reduce cholesterol? It's all the same things that Dr. Femi has been talking about. The same things that he has mentioned, all the things he went off: red meat, ice cream, biscuits, fried foods, pizza, reduce his portions, increase vegetables, increase nuts. Those are the same things that you need to do. And exercise will always help. Exercise is not only for people who are overweight, and that's one thing I want us to remember. Exercise is not only for people who are overweight or obese. We'll be rounding off shortly, but let's finish with the questions. Can you replace meat with shaki or pomo or liver or kidney? So just to say briefly here that innards, or what we call organ meats, they are the ones that are even principally known to contain a lot of saturated fats.
Yes.
And I think I've said it before that the World Health Organization has categorized red meat, anything that comes from animal, whether it is from the cow, it is from the goat, it is from the bush animal, it's categorized as a group 2 carcinogen. A carcinogen is something that can cause cancer within the human body. People keep on asking, why are we having more cancers, more bowel cancer, more breast cancer? Of course, there are some other cancers that are not typically as a result of our diet or exercise and all that. But the ones that we know, that are related to it, we can control it. We have the power of choice. So you don't want to replace with all of that, please.
Someone has a question. Someone has a question.
Okay.
When you are done with that thought.
Yes. So for pomo, I think I was even discussing it on a group with some other patients recently, that there are so many hazards in taking pomo. A lot of us take it really, but you can take it if it is properly washed. It contains collagen. It contains some carbohydrates, a bit of protein, depending on how much of the skin or the weight was dissected from the animal. But one of the problems we have is the weight is chemicalized. The chemicals are added to it, the hydrocarbons and some other things that have been discovered within pomo. So you want to balance it out with the things, reduce it as much as possible, and make sure you are taking the healthy foods. Some of us are not taking healthy food. Some of us take vegetables once a week, whereas we should take them up to 2-3 times a day. Some of us take fruits just once or twice in a week, but those are the real foods that will really do us good. So, is there a comment? Okay, Suzanne is here. You made it.
She's finally figured out. I actually have a question. Hi, Dr. Femi, nice to meet you. Hi, Ori. I have a question regarding how many people do you guys actually put on medication for cholesterol, as in statins and things? Because over here in Europe, we use that a lot, as in we do encourage lifestyle changes, etc. And some people are actually really good at doing it and stick to it and are very disciplined. And some people are just awful at it. And at some point I just give up and say, look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let you stick with that kind of cholesterol level because you're too young to have a stroke, coronary, some heart problem happen, or other things that can happen because of it. So my question is, over in Africa, do you guys use statins and things the same as we do, or is it not so popular?
We do, Suzanne, we do use statins a lot here. We do.
Okay.
But for those of us who are lifestyle medicine inclined, we know that it's important to treat the root cause of disease.
Of course.
So for the people who will merit statins, maybe they already have some complications, already, and we're trying to do some more of secondary prevention for those of us that understand what I'm saying. So we are not preventing the disease. The disease is already there, and we're trying to prevent an aggravation of that illness. So yes, we do use it. But for people who are within a certain range, maybe they are just newly diagnosed, they don't have complications.
The ones who are sort of limit cases, you don't sit them into medication immediately. That's silly. It's no point. I usually give them a brochure or something like that to explain, in case the other people don't know. I'm a GP on the other side of the pond. Different continent, same idea. But the idea is that I give them a brochure, for example, something from either a European Heart Foundation or something like that, which gives them ideas about what they can change in their food, so that they can try and implement those changes themselves, and then see what happens. And then I usually say, okay, let's make a deadline of some sort. So I give people a road plan. You have to have something change in your blood results within, I don't know, say 6 months. If in 6 months' time we're still, rowing upstream and it's not happening, sorry, but you're in for medication.
I think you need to change your approach. You are there are 3 cores. The inner part is the why, the
Mhm.
middle core is the how, and the outer
Mhm.
core is the what.
Yeah.
You're focusing on the what to
Mhm.
change, to go inside. You won't see change, and that's what helped me out. You need to let them see why the cholesterol needs to come down. Not
I-
just the health, not just
I
the
do
health
actually go
issue.
into a lot of explaining. I usually do take the time to go into quite a bit of detail regarding.
Not the health issues they can have,
Hmm?
but that the aspect of how will I put it, their life will not be optimal. Nobody wants to die.
You're saying concentrate on the health benefit rather than the health defect?
On the long run, because if they see only
Mhm.
the disease, they can't understand the disease. They can go and read
Mhm.
about the disease, but the issue is that they are not living healthy, they are not enjoying themselves, they are not at their maximum capacity, their quality of life has reduced. They can go back to what they were 10 years ago if they can make
Yeah.
those changes. If they see that picture, it changes their mindset that
Yeah.
it's in my hands.
Okay.
Because the drugs might be free, the drugs might be affordable, but they just feel like, okay, somebody's paying for insurance, is paying for it. Yes, I'm putting some premium, but it's my life.
Yeah.
If I can live longer just by making these changes, I can add 5 years to my life. It's give them a different mindset, and
Yeah.
that will change their outlook and their compliance.
Okay.
But
All
when they
right. Thank you so much.
I like the idea. I like the input, because I do tend to try and involve people in explaining not necessarily a full-blown, like a diet, but more like telling them avoid processed foods, or the 5 fruits and vegetables a day thing. Stuff that's easier to implement, stuff that's easier to actually put into function and do. And also explaining, obviously, you're better off telling them about the positives than the negatives often, because it's more encouraging that way. Yeah. But I like your idea of thinking about the 3 pieces: the why, how, what. Simon Sinek, I guess you've read him too.
Yes. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Suzanne, for contributing to the conversation, and thank you, Femi, for also giving that apt response. So we need to close it here for tonight. It's already after 9, so that we can enjoy a restorative sleep. And so for Dejo, who was asking about night owls, well, we want you to aim for an average of 7 hours per night, so that your body can repair itself, when you sleep. And like I always like to say, melatonin is the only anti-cancer hormone in the body, and it's optimized when you sleep at night. So let's take that gift of sleep that God has given us, because it says He gives His beloved sleep. So yes, can we use olive oil to, like the regular vegetable oil, for cooking stew? Yes, you can, but don't fry it. Avoid frying. You can use to cook, you can use to season and to flavor your foods. Is there any way to know what caused the cholesterol jump in the first instance, and how you sure it won't come back to that level? I think he has explained it. He has talked about all the changes he made. All those changes he made contributed to the cholesterol going down. And if it goes back to those meals, all the ice cream, the red meats, the fried foods, the pizza, and he's taking it, the way he was, then the cholesterol definitely will go up again. Someone is asking, can we have this meeting earlier in the day? Okay, so we'll look back and see whether this is possible. The rice was what I eat. Okay, I didn't get that very well. Okay, Femi is responding to that. Thank you. I believe we've responded to everyone's comments and questions. Please, if you want to receive updates from us, do put your email, your name and your email in the chat box before we close it up now. Our website is www.lifestylechamps.com, and we usually share information about upcoming meetings. But this is the last one for the year. I want to say a big thank you to everyone for attending. I'm so glad Suzanne could join. Thank you very much to Dr. Femi. He's one of our associates in LCI, and he's always here to give
I'm
us.
becoming a fellow in the new year.
Yeah.
I'll be God certified in the new year, don't worry.
Thank you so much. So let's unmute and wish each other Merry Christmas in advance. Merry Christmas. You can unmute, show us your video, let's see your face before.
And we can even take a Christmas picture.
Christmas
I think you can take a picture.
Yes.
Yeah, you can take a picture and use it in the collage. So everybody turn on your video if you can.
Okay.
And if it's okay for you.
Yes, let's turn on our video so we can take a photo, our end of year photo. Good to see you, sir. Mr. Taiwo.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Good to see you.
Bless you.
Oh, Dr. Mimi, good to see you. Good to see everyone.
You are looking very fresh, Doc.
With all the Lagos traffic.
It's the grace of God. We thank God.
Amen.
So I'm taking the shots now. I'm taking the shot. Oh, Bimbo. Bimbo.
Dejo, I can see your smiles.
Oh, Dejo, good to see you.
Well done. Fantastic talk, Femi and Moyo. Well done.
Thank you so much. Reverend Adeleke, Dr. Johnson, good to see you. Mr. Shola Oladele, Mr. Bengo Motoshaw, Dr. Shosanwo, Dr. Alori, Dr. Adigun, Mrs. Lucio Obaiwana, Dr. Johnson Olaniyi, Mrs. Ukachi, that's Dr. Femi's guest. Mrs. Mene Nkuyo, good to see you again. Dr. Alade Wadu, God bless you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. Mrs. Nogo, thank you for being here. Dr. Edewo, Dr. Edewo, my friend and colleague, Foma, thank you for being here. Have I mentioned everyone? Dr. Sapia, oh, good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Are we taking the picture?
Okay, so let's pause one more time. Let's pause one more time for the picture. Let's pause one more time for the picture. Yeah. Yes. I've taken the picture now. Okay.
You have to post the picture on our WhatsApp group, Femi. Ori.
Yes, I will. I'll share it.
Happy festivities to anyone celebrating.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Complimentary season.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.